it's really important. You can look at planting dates online. You can talk to fellow gardeners and find out when they do things. But everybody has your own microclimate in your specific area. You have a different lighting from the sun. You have different air patterns from the obstacles and things around you. Maybe you have trees, maybe you have buildings, maybe you have a different amount of concrete around you. Like there's so many things that are variables in your own microclimate that you need to start somewhere, but then you need to adopt your own calendar for your own very specific area. So keep lots of notes. I kept having people ask me about our garden journal. I do share in our classes how we set our garden journal up. And then finally, I just made a blank one and it's available on our website.
Oh, that's nice.
It's got everything in here that you could possibly need. So it's got a spot for a master calendar. It's got yields set up so you can keep track of.
Can you put it to the camera?
Yeah, sorry.
It might be backwards.
I don't know how. Yeah, I think
see.
we did this last time also where we had this problem. John's going to come in here a second. He's going to be like, this is not what you do. Yeah. Anyways, master yields, a garden plan. So like, I forget the camera's up there. Rebecca was talking about how she drew hers out. It's got a daily journal so you can keep track of what you're doing. And then it's got pages for each and every variety of what you're growing.
Wow,
so you can keep notes.
Awesome.
So just so you know, when you're keeping a journal, the things that you need to keep track of for every crop that you grow. So like when you're growing tomatoes, this is what you need to know. The date you planted it in the ground, maybe the date you seeded it since you started yours from seed, the variety, the first day you harvest and the last day you harvest. Okay. And then I like to keep like a running total of what I'm harvesting. So every week when I go out in my garden and harvest, I write down how many pounds of each thing. And that's very beneficial because I'll get people, I'll do an event, a meal or something, and people want to know, what do you have growing in the middle of the third week of June?
Yeah.
Well, I can go through my garden journal and I can look at my yields and I can be like, well, I should have this many pounds of this and this many pounds of that. It's helpful if you're going to try to plan a canning day. Well, when am I going to have all my beets come in? I can look at my journal. When I was trying to plan my garden for this year, I wanted to have a lot more broccoli than I typically do. And so I was able to look at my last harvest date over the last 10 years. And I could tell you, well, May 1st is about the last time I'll ever harvest broccoli. And so I'm able to plan according to that. But those are those key pieces of information that everybody needs to know about each of the crops that you want to focus on.
Okay. Oh, and he wants me to press the button. So, okay. Where is it? Done. Okay. So this garden journal is on the website for Plum Fabulous.
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So you can print it out and then you can print out like as many pages as you want. Or you can go get, I actually use, when I'm in the garden,
Let me try to hold it up closer.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just a PDF version that you can print out for yourself and put it in whatever. I put it in this folder with the fancy sticker and stuff, but you're going to print your own out. When I'm in my garden, I actually have like a little notebook that is waterproof. It's called a Write in the Rain book, and all my notes go in there. But it is set up as the same way as this, just to give people this. I just did this so people get a head start on, like, they don't even know what to write down. Like they're going to keep a journal and they go in there and they're like, I don't even know what to write. Like,
so that's cool that it's all, and it was very organized too.
Yeah. And that's because,
have.
I've actually been through several books now. Like I've been doing this long enough. And so when I transition, it takes me like 2 or 3 years to fill a book up. And when I would transition to a new one, I'd get a fresh chance to like, you know, what did I actually use in this journal? And so these are all the key pieces. Again, we are so focused on what can I do the least amount of effort to get the most amount of output, right? And so I want to keep the fewest records that I need to accomplish the goal of keeping records. I want to do the least amount of weeding. I want to plant the best varieties for my area so I'm maximizing output there. I want to nail the dates as close as I can so I get the most out of my production. Spring crops are really great because for the most part, they're just going to grow until a freeze.
Yep.
And so you have to keep that in mind because some things are going to be in your garden all summer long. And some things like my squashes, I know are going to come out. And so I have to have stuff ready to go in those spots when they die from the squash plants, which I know they're going to, or like the corn beds, I know I'm going to harvest those. So those are going to become empty. but the rest of the beds are not. They're going to be full the whole summer long.
Yep.
So
Keep producing.
yeah. All right.